Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. So today I'm thinking about covering something different. I've received several requests about starting a business while you're working full-time, because life happens. Sometimes you cannot jump off your full-time job and start a new business. It's risky to do such a thing. I would never recommend anybody does that. So what I'm going to suggest is that somebody told me once that if you think about it, we have 168 hours in a week. So if you work 40 hours for your regular job, that leaves you 128 hours. So let's just say you sleep 8 hours. So for another 40 hours, we take that one out. That leaves you 88 hours. So the question is, what do you do with the rest of all these 88 hours a week? How are you killing them? So my suggestion to people is that when you are thinking about an idea, always put it on paper and then think about it. Make sure that it does not conflict with your regular job. The contracts that you have there. Say, when I was a CPA, I could not do a CPA practice publicly because it's a conflict, because I was working for a CPA firm. So you really don't want to break any of that, because that is the hand that feeds you. That's your full-time job. So maybe you can do something that has no conflict with it, and then later on, when you are able to sustain yourself and quit the full-time job, I say give yourself 3 to 5 years, give it a long run. So you do something else that is not related to your job, so that you don't get into trouble with your employer, okay? If you work something like that, always make sure that you take care of your employer, you do the right thing by your employer. Never, ever take phone calls on the job. What I would suggest is that you use your lunch hour. You can eat while you take your lunch hour, check your emails, things like that. Make your phone calls on the way to work. Now with the hands-free, you can do that. If your commuting time is like 30 minutes, you can get a lot of phone calls in while you're commuting. Remember, when you start the business, you can get a small prepaid phone. So that will be a dedicated phone for business. You can totally write that off. You can also get a dedicated laptop that you can only use for business. That's also a deduction, okay? You can start it as a sole proprietor if you're not too sure of it. Maybe give it like a year run as a sole proprietor. Make sure you get all the proper insurance. So if you're doing, say, cleaning houses, for example, you want to make sure you get insurance so that if you break somebody's things, you can, the insurance will cover. So you will still do all the proper insurance and all the certifications and everything that you want to do. Now, the time factor. So when you get home, you can do what you need to do at home and all kinds of stuff. And after, if you have little ones, after you put them to bed, most of them will sleep, say, 8 to 9 o'clock. Between 9 p.m. and midnight, you have 3 hours there. You can work on your business. If it doesn't require you to go outside of the house, you can work on your business. Or let's just say start with 1 hour. So you can work 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Just 1 hour a day. Okay, that will give you about, let's just say 5 to 6 hours during the week. You can do a lot For example, if you want to do social media for other people, you can do that. 5 out to 6 hours, that will give you a little bit of income on the side. Even if it's nothing at all, you can use it for your gas money, things like that. Okay, so that's that part for it. In terms of making it official, if you're in the United States, you can actually get a tax ID for sole proprietor so that you do not give your social security number to people, especially when they're going to give you a 1099. You can get a tax ID for sole proprietorship in your name, but it will not require you to give your social to people for 1099 purposes, okay? So that is that part. Now, as far as tracking your accounting, if you have no money at all, there is a Wave app. It's a software that is free, and so you can technically use that. I do offer training on it on julianakennedy.cpa.com. Of course, there's a fee for it for my training package. It's like $247. You can learn on your own, or you can learn it on your own without my training. It doesn't matter. But whatever you do, you need an accounting system. With that, you can invoice people, design the invoice, make it look official. Okay. And so in everything you do, always make it official. Make sure everything is high quality. And then you take care of your customers. And be honest with your customers. Let them know that you're working this on the side while you're doing a full-time job. So you may not be able to get back to them right away when they call you. And so you will get back to them at noon and maybe say 5 p.m. after you get off work. Most people, 99% of the people will understand that. They will appreciate the honesty. That's what I did with my clients, let me say 15, 16 years ago. And make sure they were aware that I'm on a full-time job. So if they call me and I don't get back to them, they are okay with it. So when I got off work, 5 p.m., then I return all the calls, and then I worked with them on weekends. And so that's how you can get around this working full-time and doing your business. Now, in terms of when to quit, I don't recommend you quit, say, 6 months into it and say, hey, I'm going to do my job, my business full-time. That is very risky. Even if you're single, it's still risky to do that. And then when you have kids, it's even more risky. But you can still do this, okay? Because this day and age, no job is secured. So you go to a job. I had somebody who did exactly what I'm telling you for almost 15, 16 years. One day she went to work on Friday. She was told, you no longer have a job. A job she's done for 25 years. She was given zero notice. Okay. The thing is, she was happy as a clown because she took her bag and she's like, adios. Now Monday, she was sitting in her own business and doing her own thing. So this strategy that I'm telling you works. Okay, it's only going to require you to work harder. Instead of being done with 40 hours a week, you can actually do this as 80-hour week. It won't stretch you because you will still get your 8 hours of sleep. So when I was working the numbers out, 88 hours is left over after you've slept 8 hours and worked 8 hours. Okay, so let's just say you spend 28 hours. So you divide 28 hours a week. Let's see, we'll just say 6 days. So at least on average, you can spend 5 hours. Yes, to work on your business and still be okay. To be okay. And you won't be overworked. Okay, so that's just my little suggestion for you all. This is how I did mine. It doesn't work for everybody, but all I'm saying is you may cut out the TV And I know the TV people won't like me very much for this, but some things you can actually do while you watch TV. I used to do while I'm sitting on the couch with my kids, and then they're doing their homework, and then I'm just doing that, or they're watching some cartoons or something, and I have a laptop on the side and I'm doing data entry. So you can do it. It's difficult. I will say it's not difficult. It's difficult, but anything worth having is worth working hard for. All right. Now, I'm going to try my best to support you by answering your questions. So I don't know if anybody is on here with me. You can post your questions for me, and then I will answer if I see any questions. So let's see. I don't know if I don't see questions. Okay, so if you can put it in now, you can put it on later. And then I'll come back on the page to answer your questions. If you have any ideas that you want to brainstorm, I do offer free call also, so I can brainstorm with you and see what business idea you have and how you can turn it into a business. Even if it means you get one customer, because all you need is one customer, one client. As long as you can make them happy, and you can do everything the legal way and make sure that you satisfy them overboard, like you go over the board to make sure they're happy. Word of mouth will take you a long way. So all I'm saying is examine all your hobbies, the things that you like to do. If you can do it for fun, it's even better, because then when you do it as a full-time business, it doesn't feel like you're working. All right. So that's just my little tidbit on that one. Okay, so let me see if I have any questions. Okay, I don't see any questions. All right, so I'm just going to make it quick. I'll hang out here for another 5 minutes if I see any questions. Otherwise, I just wanted to pop in real quick and show you how the math works. So again, you have 168 hours in a week, work 40 hours, that leaves you 128 hours, sleep 40 hours, which is 8 hours a day. Actually, no, that's for 5 days anyway. I had to go back and rework the numbers. But long story short, you do have the capacity to do a business on the side while you're working full time. If you want to, you can always do it. And I once heard my Cuban talking about how you can hustle, and also I think it's Gary Vee or somebody also talking about, even if you have no product to sell at all, you can go to garage sales or flea market, buy something, polish it up, put it online, and make good money with it. Use that money and then regenerate it up. A few ideas like offering to do social media for people. A lot of people don't have any clue how does Facebook stuff work. You can make easy money. Maybe charge a local business $100 a month to monitor all their social media, help them with their marketing. You can do any of that. You young ones, now you know more than the rest of us. So I am just going to suggest that you can find something that you're passionate about and then do it as a business on the side while you're working full time. So the strategy I tell people is that don't jump off right away. I'm going to repeat myself. Do not jump off right away. So you can do this. Do it for like 3 to 5 years on average until the income in your part-time business can replace your full-time job. Do not quit. All right. Just to make sure that all your living expenses are covered, your business expenses are covered. So you can make sure that you do not use the money that's you are generating through the business for your personal living expenses. This way, you keep it on the side, save it as much as you can. So this way, when you quit, like in 5 years, you have a nice cushion right there. So I have a strategy that I laid out for somebody. I'm going to see if I can turn it into some sort of an ebook or something, or PDF for any of you who are interested in it. I will give it to you to follow. It's not set in stone. That's just my way. You can always come up with your own way. All right. So I will just briefly describe it. The way I told her was, you start saving all the money that's coming from the business. After you pay the expenses that you need to run the business, say the website, the hosting, the phone, whatever is left. And of course, you take away the taxes. So whatever money comes in, I don't know what your brackets are, but whatever your tax bracket is, you talk to your tax advisor. If you receive $100, at the average, I would say put away 30% of it into a savings account for taxes. A lot of credit unions have a tax account. They would not let you withdraw that money no matter what, except for taxes. So you can put that there. 70% of it, you can take maybe 20% for the business expenses, 50% you save for when you go full time. And then maybe a year or two, you start saving for your living expenses. And then the third year, you can save for the business expenses. So it's a gradual step until you are able to feel that you have enough nest egg saved before you jump off to go do your business. So it could take anywhere from a year to 5 years. It depends on how hard or how well the business does. And I think in every business, you start with good intentions. So I would say don't give up if it gets tough. The other strategy that I'm going to share with you, you can start the business. If you don't have the time to do it, talk to some friends and family. You can actually outsource a portion of the business. If you're getting a lot of clients and you don't have time, don't jump off the cliff and start quit your full time. Spread it around, share with other people, get everybody to help you. Say 2 hours here, there from a family member, 3 hours from this family member, and you all do it on a part-time basis. You can hire them as a contractor. You don't have to hire them as employees. And then they all work their regular full-time jobs too. So when it becomes really, really big, then one of you can quit, especially maybe you can quit and do it full-time and still have them do as part-time. And then when it makes enough, then the other person can also quit their full-time and then come and join you. So that may take some time, say, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years, 10 years. Then everybody who is involved, you can all just now do it full time. So you have to do it gradually. That's the only way I can see. Instead of going out there and taking money from investors, I'll say bootstrap it, do it this way. Do not take money from anybody in the beginning of your business. All right? Because when you take money from people, the stress alone that you have to pay somebody money, that you owe somebody money and you have to pay them, the stress alone will hurt your business. It will not help you. So I'm just going to tell everybody, do not. The only money that I want you to use to run a new business is, say you have about 5 credit cards, dedicate one of them to use as a financing for your business. So if you are able to use just that one card only for business stuff, even though it's in your personal name, the IRS will not mind the interest on it. You can still write it off as long as every single penny that you use on that credit card, even if you carry the balance, it will still be allowed the interest to deduct on your business. So that's my take on how to finance a new business. So you're going to need it for, say, website hosting, office supplies, computer supplies, ink and toner and paper, depending on the type of business you're in. If it's products, I'll tell you, buy just one product or 2 products or 3 products. Don't buy a whole bunch, just a little bit. Sell it, use the profit to order more. I recently told somebody who was doing some sort of business, and I told her, I said, order 1 truckload. You can do that. Use the profit, do maybe half a truckload, and then do the next time, do 2 truckloads. So eventually you'll be able to do 10, 20, 15 without taking any money from anybody and then being stressed out. So that's my strategy for you all. So it's about 20 minutes and I still don't see any questions. So I'm not actually sure how many of you are on here. So anybody who watches this later and has questions, please feel free to post them there or send me a PM if it's private, and I'll be more than happy to respond to you. All right. So wishing you all the best. And I would love to hear all the businesses that you are going to be starting, because I'm excited. I love to see businesses from 0 to millions. That's my excitement. So all of you, wish you luck. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.